Welcome back everybody into another daily recap. Today is the day 10th of November, and we're going to do the recap on gold, Bitcoin and GJ as always. We're going to start with gold. As you can see, today was the day of the inflation data, and as expected we had the year over here is not updated. Very good. The year over year inflation, that was very much increased, and we're going to see it now. Let load. There you go. So yesterday already we had a still high PPI. Today what we had was a very much increased inflation, 0.8 more than the previous one, 0.4 more than expected, and also the core one was much 0.6 higher than the previous one. The month over month was still 0.4 higher than the previous month, and nobody gave a damn about the jobless claims because the inflation was too high. And as you can see on gold, this morning analysis, we were still very bullish, and we were expecting inflation to stay high and more bullish on gold. So we're going to see if we were still in a sort of reasonable range, or like we did, we really skyrocket. And as you can see, we were looking for buys from 1820 or deeper from 1812.5. What we saw, what the buys went right at 1822 and then went bullish. Let's go into the here the 1 minute time frame, which is of course very messy. We have a huge order block because of course the price is not moving much, it's moving like 40 pips before the inflation data. So the investors are waiting on the sidelines, and after this order block we have a liquidity grab, as you can see the bearish move, liquidity grab to these previous lows, and then skyrocketing up. As you can see here, just moving to 1868. So this was a move of more than 400 pips in a few hours, and after that we saw a sort of expected correction. We are slightly, we can say that we are 50% of the move, more or less, but we still have to see. And you see first some bounces here, but as you can see we were having each bounce shorter and shorter, as you can see here, and then we broke, retested, another retest, and then continuation down. As you can see, we're going to jump into the 1 minute to see if we had nice setups with this bullish move. So as I was already highlighting, yes, these candles are very big, but these, in confluence with your fundamental reasoning, an entry at the close of this candle or safer above 1828 as per analysis, about 1828 was really safe. You can enter either here with of course 15 pips. This one can go how much as you want. As you can see, 60 pips is already here. You can extend the trade, or safer, you can enter when the price is breaking above the key level. Possibly this one with a buy stop, it's way easier to enter, because after that we see very strong candles, not nearly nice retest, The only nice retest that we see, and we got the candle setup, is above 1852. So this is already the new 4-hour candle, breaks and retest exactly the key level and these previous highs, and we have this nice little here candle setup, or even this one, making a lower wick and then going up. As you can see, 15 pips is still, even these candles are much smaller than these previous ones. I mean, 60 pips looks like really nothing compared to the overall range, because anyway, this trade in a few minutes went to 140 pips, so 14 points complete just from this candle setup. After that, as I showed you, we saw a correction, we saw a bearish trend, first bounce from here. You could have got is still in a bullish trend, bullish bias, same key level. If you still enter here, now you're risking, probably you're not stopped out for really a few pips, depends on the spread, and you still get like 50 pips to revisit 1858. After that, you have another bounce, but you're starting to see the bearish pressure, so I'm not advising to enter. Now, look at the bearish pressure from here. If you see this, you say, okay, let me see if we break and retest again the key level, then I might enter, or maybe safely above these previous highs. On the opposite side, if we wanted to take sells, we had not really nice candles, not the perfect ones. We had these closing below, this one makes a top wick and then closes below these previous lows, and then with 15 pips you are very much safe and go to take profit. But after that, not much as per analysis. On Bitcoin, same exact, very correlated to gold. In this case, it acted as a strong edge against inflation. This morning, I was looking for demand areas for continuation buys. As you can see, we never got to these levels, so of course we never broke below here, so these ideas were invalid. But we were looking for buys above 66,500, 66,500, 66,800, and but we were also aware that there was supply zones above here. We saw that when price printed all-time highs, it gets a very strong correction. It is actually what happened later on during the day, and to find better demand areas. So we might now, with these huge bearish candles, find some demand area above here overnight. If we jump on the 1 minute, as you can see, I already highlighted some of the trade ideas playing out. As you can see, we were looking for buys, so we never got to those exact price points. But as you can see, with the inflation data, what we got was exactly the same move as gold. Liquidity grab over here, nice candle rejection, safely above 66,500 here, very impulsively, and you get a lot of pips. You see price confirmation bullish, breaks and retest. This candle is quite big because the 15 pips stop loss wouldn't be really close to the PPL, but you are very strong bullish as your bias. And after that, you just break above and 130 pips just for this trade. If you still are in this one, is like I think more than 200 pips. After that, you still see that there's a bullish price action, so you might still look for buys above 68,500, 68,550. Do we have any nice candle? We possibly had this one, which played out. Long position with 15 pips. Yeah, you get to 20 pips, 19 pips, and then you either go out a break even or you get the stop loss hit. I mean, depends if you're still trading after these trades. This is a nice too long candle, no other candle setups, not really. Now at this point, at this stage, you have to be aware that you are not anymore in a trend. Now you are bouncing from these levels. You are bouncing from these levels. You are not anymore in this phase of a trend, and then you have the tops for possible continuation up. Now we are in a order block, and the market is different. So now what we see, we don't look for anything yet. We are looking at the market. So we see price breaks and retest exactly these previous lows and continues down. Breaks and retest of the PPL. We are in a bearish trend. You could have easily entered here. Was not a price point of a pre-planned price point. But as you can see, 15 pips is above the PPL. And then you have continuation down for the opposite side. So very, very, very long range. Again, this could also be a nice entry at the retest of the PPL in a bearish trend for continuation, or this candle that was below the pre-planned price point 767,750 on the dot, and then this is a very nice and lucky price action, but this is the candle entry we trade, so it's the same, and you get like a lot of pips out of it. This is like 130 pips if you close it at the candle close. So otherwise it was like even 20 pips more. In continuation, look at this candle. We are way too low below our key level. So if you put like 15 pips, will it still be in the middle of the range? Yes, maybe you have charted this one. So it's a very good price point, but still it's very risky. 100 pips even with this one. Okay, and this was Bitcoin. You can take advantage for all the both the sides. On GJ, we already talked about it in the trade idea analysis explained. I will just show you graphically what we did was exactly identifying these order block between 152.8 and 153.6, and as you can see, we got different buys setups. We got also here some setups. This one playing out at small profit or break even. This one break even or small loss. But after that, what we got was a nice candle setup here that got us like 100 pips. Safer here above I remember exactly where it was. I think here above the PPL, continuation up. Again here, no entries here because we were too close to the top. You have the first rejection. This one plays out for like 20 pips, so it's 2-1. This second one, same candle setup, same rejection at the same level, playing out for more than 100 pips, and safer here below the other PPL, again for I think like 90 pips as well. We saw it in the details in another video. But this is it for today. We got two very nice hedges against the inflation, and yeah, Bitcoin was just melting while we're talking, and that's it. It's something, sometimes it happens after printing an all-time high, which is now over here. See you guys tomorrow.